My teacher says I have to have an SAE. I don't even know what an SAE is, let alone how to get one.
SAE is Supervised Agricultural Experience.
And almost anything that you can name is in some way or another an agriculture experience.
That really sparks your interest and gets you involved in doing production, marketing, whatever side of agriculture it is.
Something that will earn you money and keep you alive once you get out of high school and stop belonging to your parents.
You have to start somewhere, and having projects is kind of like the basics. It's kind of like the introductory course to American agriculture.
Yeah. But what is an SAE?
My SAE is a registered Brahman cattle herd and a crossbred herd of F1 Brahman cattle.
Crop production, dairy heifer replacement, home improvement, and ag sales and services.
Wildlife management, and nursery and landscape. Placement in agriculture production or agribusiness.
Tropical flowers such as this one I'm wearing my hair, dendrobiums.
20 acres of fruit trees.
On my SAPs, I have 4 now. One of them is floriculture, home and farmstead improvement, ag processing, and placement in ag production.
Mostly a job placement with the government. I worked for the SCS for 2 years, and this past summer I worked for the Forest Service in Alaska. We were just basically everywhere in the backwoods and seeing a lot of country and a lot of animals and really learning a lot.
Wow, that's a lot of cool stuff. But how do you get started?
Where I live, we have a lot of community support. And what would happen is Chino, which is about 10 minutes away from Colton, they have a big dairy industry. And some of the dairy farmers will give students heifers, and you raise them and feed them and train them, and it just works out fantastic.
I have an uncle that works construction, and I started working for him in the summers, and that just evolved into my SAE program.
When I was 9 years old, I was given my first calf to care for, and that grew into my own cow family.
I worked at an animal health store, and we sold all kind of things to feedlots and horse boarding places.
Last year, some community farmers asked the Tri-County FFA to make a Tri-County FFA corn yield plot book. Because of my experience on a computer, I volunteered to design a spreadsheet program for this plot book. And after over 100 hours of work, we distributed this plot book to about 200 farmers in our community.
So, since this is an agricultural experience, I thought that I had to live on a farm.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
You know, we have one cat, and that's my little brother's. You know, I'm not a farmer at all, pretty much live in a city.
That was popular back in the 50s and the 60s, but this doesn't cut it these days. Nope, it's for everybody.
I think it's just as valuable for students in an urban environment as it is for students in a rural environment. It's good for anybody to get a good understanding of our #1 industry.
There's so much that's going on in agriculture. There's so many places that people are needed. You can't just go with straight production. People are needed in these other areas, and they have to come from somewhere.
I think these non-traditional SAEs are ones that we need to start looking into because they obviously include a vast array of opportunities in agriculture.
Okay, wait. You mean I can have just about any project I want? I don't have to live on a farm, or I could live on a farm, or in the city, or in Hanford, California, Chicago, Illinois, Milford, Delaware, or
Newcastle, Indiana.
Southern California.
East Wenatchee, Washington.
Kennard, Texas.
Indiana.
Imperial, California.
Colton, California.
Great state of Texas.
Woken, Indiana.
Harrington, Delaware.
New Jersey.
Thompson, Iowa.
Summerduck, Virginia. Burley, Idaho.
Utah.
Chilton, Texas. South Haven, Kansas.
Pahoa, Hawaii.
South Carolina.
Hinsdale, Montana.
Fredericksburg, Virginia.
so I do this SAE. My teacher says I'll learn a lot, but what am I really going to get out of it?
Obviously, a sense of pride. It made me realize what I had on the inside.
It showed me how much the hard work and dedication paid off, and that made me feel good.
I made a lot of friends doing this because I met a lot of ranchers and farmers.
What I've learned, I think, is responsibility and maturity.
Never give up, because I guarantee you those times are the times that you learn 10 times more than sitting in the classroom learning about certain areas such as dairy production.
Yeah, but what about record keeping?
Record keeping is just not keeping your receipts and putting them in a shoebox, which I thought, yeah, no problem. I'll just put them in the shoebox, pull them out when I have to write up my records. It's every day. It's writing down, if that day you sold, bought something, it's writing it down that day
It's just like a journal entries. You fill out expenses, you fill out receipts, hours of labor, and it's really, really simple, but it's something that you're going to have to do after you're out of high school and you start your adult life, as they call it, you're going to have to start doing things like that. And that can go all the way from when you're going to have to balance checkbooks to just about any kind of financial dealings.
In life, you're going to need some type of record keeping, whether it be for the bills or for your job that you're in. Record keeping skills is something I've gained from SAP that I can use in whatever career I go into.
The more you do it, it gets kind of neat to look at all the figures in the book, and you know what's going on in the day-to-day operation of it, and you get to see your money coming in and going out and what's happening with it. So it's actually very interesting.
You mean you can make money with an SAE?
Off my project, I've made about $25,000 or $30,000.
Last year, I've made about $17,000.
Through my 4 years of high school, I've had a chance to make, well, a rough estimate of around $60,000.
About $4,000.
There are hundreds of people in the FFA, just success stories of people who have made $20,000, $50,000, and that's money that you can't make normally in high school. You would have to have a full-time job. That's something that's very unique, and in that respect alone, that makes an SAE project worthwhile.
SAE sounds great. You can do all kinds of cool stuff.
I can't go up and tell you you're going to get all this. All I can tell you is just try it. And once you try it, you're going to catch on, and it's going to grow on you more and more.
The SAE is a stepping block for life, because I guarantee you'll use every skill that you gain through the SAE throughout life, definitely.
You're stuck in classes in high school for 5-6 periods a day where you're sitting looking at textbooks, copying things off the blackboard, or listening to instructors, and it all gets it's all the same after a while. It's real monotonous. If you're doing an SAE project, it's a good time to get out there and either work with your hands or apply what you've learned in class to some kind of enterprise where you can see the direct results yourself.
The way you have to look at it, it's your project. It's not something your parents are going to have for you. It's not something your teacher's going to take care for you. It's something that you have to take on yourself, and it's going to be your personal project.
Whether you're out there and you decide your project is going to be having corn, whether you decide you're going to go into some kind of local business as a florist, no matter what project you have, it gives you an appreciation for the agriculture industry as a whole.
They say agriculture is going to change in the next 10 years more than it has in the last 100 years, which is really exciting because I'm going to be a part of that.
And for me to be able to stand there like a big brother figure and say, well, now, I did this and I did this, and I think I can help you with it, it brings about a sense of pride within myself to be able to help someone else. That's what agriculture is all about, learning and teaching and helping everyone else.
SAE is
Excitement.
Outrageous.
Interesting.
Challenging.
Exciting. Unique.
Incredible.
Commitment.
Pride.
Opportunity.
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 Fantastic.
SAE. It's more than you think.